Welcome back to the Nay 19 podcast. I'm James Swain, and I'm bringing us in tonight. We're doing a little Fiasco.
Yeah.
So tonight, we're playing the Supernatural Files. And I'll give you the little header here. Flashing lights in the sky, unexplained deaths, a missing person. There are many things that go bump in the night, things that cannot be explained, and things that you have to try to explain, and things that will help you find the truth. Why? Because the truth is out there.
Whose turn?
We will begin with the opening of Act 1.
Samantha Birch is walking down the street towards the old bookstore on Main Street. In her hands, she's holding 2 coffees. One for herself and one for...
Timothy.
For Timothy. For Timmy.
I could picture like the names. You see like Samantha
is written on the cups.
And
yeah.
Timothy.
It's chilly. She's wearing a scarf and earmuffs over her black, dark, long hair. She opens the door to the old bookstore and the bell rings above her head. She walks forward and puts Timothy's coffee on his desk. Or the
counter.
The counter of the used bookstore. Sorry.
Okay, so the scene is in the bookstore then?
Yes.
Timothy steps down from one of those wheeled staircases upon seeing Samantha enter the bookstore. Oh, hey Samantha, how's it going today? You would see unkempt lad, probably 34, 35 years in age. Dirty blonde hair. Hair's always a mess. Suspenders. Maybe a plaid shirt. Is it cold out there?
It is sorry.
The coffee feels warm.
A frog in your throat?
Yeah, she's nervous. Samantha is nervous. She'll pull her earmuffs down and around her neck. What are you doing this Saturday night?
Oh, me? I'm probably going to be working late that night.
At the bookstore you own?
I have a ton of work to do here. As you can see, I'm like surrounded in stacks and stacks of books. But maybe if you want, maybe you could help me. And then maybe we could finish up early and then, I don't know, catch a movie or something.
This is moving faster than I intended it to.
I know, it was a stupid idea.
I thought I was going to strike out.
I know, it was a stupid idea.
Samantha blushes and says, I'd love to help you out. I'll see you here around 6.
Yeah, that works.
And she'll kind of bumble around a little bit, walking backwards towards the door and say, well, I got to get to work. And leave the bookstore.
All right, I'll see you then, Samantha.
Oh, so we never did a vote on anything.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to?
We were supposed to at some point.
I thought we were going to do it when I asked him out. That was going to be like if I should have said something. I should have end scene. But then you asked me out, and I didn't know what to do.
Nervous. Well, do you want to go back to it?
Well, we could just let it ride and give her a blue.
So blue's good, red's bad.
Or the scene might not be over, and then something bad could happen.
Yeah.
Blue's good, red's bad.
So you guys could still
we
decide.
We could still do a vote.
Yeah. So Samantha just left the bookstore,
thinking
she got thinking she's progressing forward with her crush.
All right. I like
Does
to
she
see
pass or
something
fail?
Bad happen early, so I'm gonna vote red.
Yeah, I'm in for red. This date's not happening.
I already got a fucking cock blocker over here. Wow. Stage 2 fucking.
Okay, so now I have to write it failing, right? Now I have to just give.
I mean, you can just keep carrying, or something. It just means something bad's gonna happen.
Okay, but I didn't know if I had to say it or
but
not.
yes, you have to keep going.
Okay.
You don't have to rewrite, I guess, is what I was.
Gotcha.
Where I was
Yep.
going.
So is this going to dictate the next scene? The vote?
I think we would see something maybe a little bit more like what happens when Samantha leaves the bookstore. Maybe something bad happens.
So
when she leaves the
as
bookstore.
Samantha's leaving the bookstore, she's walking kind of backwards, not paying attention to what she's doing, excited, thinking about Saturday night, even though it was almost a week away, when she gets pushed, when she catches the shoulder of a stranger hard. She turns to look at him, and she misses him. He's moving way too quickly, but she does see that he's smoking a cigarette.
Hey,
And
watch
she
where you're
continues
going.
to walk.
I'm smoking a cigarette here in the library.
But she's in such a... I'm on the street now.
On the sidewalk.
Yeah, I'm smoking a cigarette.
Smoking a cigarette on my way to the library. Got people running into me everywhere I fucking go. This goddamn town used to be nice and quiet.
So, yeah. Catches her shoulder. She looks over her shoulder, misses his face, but notices that he's smoking a cigarette. But she's on cloud 9 because she just got her date and she keeps walking.
All right.
Is she supposed to be the cigarette smoking man that we need to enact revenge upon?
Yeah.
So now do we just go in a circle here?
Yep. So it would be Jay would either set a scene or have us set a scene for him.
Let me see here. I think I want to see a scene with James and Chuck.
And you?
You have to be in it.
I do?
Yeah, you're the star of this one.
Yeah. Star me.
Star me.
Maybe, let me see. I'm looking at the board here to see what we have for story staples here. If it's got to involve me, then I suppose the best place would be the bookstore again. But in the past or in the future, maybe a couple days later.
Oh, by the way, Samantha Birch walking into the library happened on Monday morning.
Oh.
Walking into the bookstore.
Then why doesn't this scene happen directly after? So Samantha just left the bookstore.
Hit shoulders with the smoking man.
The door to the bookstore, the bell rings again, just as Timothy is about to get back to work. And in walks a man, probably in his 50s, kind of a tall, thin man. Maybe his suit's just a little too small. And he's carrying what looks to be a bird cage with a cover over it. Timothy, I see you are taking over your father's business with quite the aptitude.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's been a while, my friend. I see you brought the bird.
Yes, little bird. And he sets the cage onto the counter and removes the...
When he sets the cage on the counter, you hear like underneath it.
And he removes the cloth over it, and inside is
my character tonight, and it's this small creature with an extended belly and long spindly arms, and he looks up at you with like big round eyes.
that, Timothy will quickly look around before moving over to the entrance, and he flips the sign from open to closed. You're early. I wasn't expecting you today, Klaus. What brings you to, Bai?
I have seemed to have reached the end of my resources on this one. I need to know what you might have for books in the back room. And he pulls out like a little mallet from like a doctor's bag that he also sits down on the counter, and he starts like knocking the knees of the little creature.
And they kick out, you know? Like it's that funny bone spot.
Yeah.
His reflexes look quite fine. However, if you notice the mechanics of his musculature, they look quite a little off.
Please, Master, I'm hungry. You said you would feed me.
Yes. Little one, do you still have the lollipops like your papa used to have in this place?
Sadly, the lollipops were one of the few things that I decided to get rid of immediately after I took over.
You see his long, spindly arm reaches out and grabs one of your books, and he quickly pulls it back in and starts gnawing on it.
At that, Timothy will probably pick up the fly swatter that's next to him and start whipping his hands.
Yes, you see, this business of reanimation just isn't quite what we expected here. It is animated for to be sure, but it is missing the quintessential spark of life, or maybe intelligence.
Well, I gotta say, Klaus, I'm a little upset that you decided to come here in broad daylight. But for the sake of progress, I will help you out. I may have something that you could use. And at that, Timothy will walk through a bead curtain into the back room.
While he's in the back room, Klaus will take a little toy out of his doctor's bag and just hand it through the cage.
And he like hungrily grabs at it. What kind of toy is it?
Just a stupid little baby toy, like something maybe like
He cranks
you
it up.
turn it and cranks, yeah.
Yeah. He just grabs it and starts cranking it really fast.
Violently.
And like the music just starts coming out like fast.
Alright, what's the vote?
As you go into the back room.
But this is for your outcome,
Yes.
more than for mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A thumbs up.
All right. So you get to decide what this means. You're going to get what you want out of this scene.
Okay.
So you got to think about your character's motives as well.
I'd say a few minutes later, Timothy reappears through the beaded curtain holding a thick, dusty tome.
What is that I see there?
I think you'll appreciate this, Klaus. And for the
Klaus.
Yeah.
You must vomit when you say it.
Master Klaus.
You know I never had a You know I never could pronounce your name like my father could.
Your father was a good man.
Your mother
It's
was
unfortunate about what happened to him.
Wouldn't know, I barely knew him. Anyway, I believe you'll find what you're looking for in this tome. And he hands the tome over the counter.
Thank you, young Timothy. Are you ready now, little one?
Little one's ready.
It will just be for a short while, but I have to put this back over your cage.
No.
Shh. Sets the cloth back over the cage.
As Klaus and the cage are taking their leave, Timothy will turn around and say, "Oh, I expect you'll be paying me within the 2 weeks, as we agreed on."
But of course, you'll get your payment in full.
Timothy will nod as the screen fades to black.
The next scene opens up in a dusty old, looks to be maybe like a den or a living area, kind of dimly lit, lots of comfortable, like worn-in wooden furniture, worn upholstery, soft light, books everywhere, and the little one is outside of his cage this time. Klaus has a checkerboard in front of him, and the little one is seated at one end of the checkerboard, but the opposite side is empty.
Diaper's full.
Helga? Oh, what is it now, you old bastard?
The little one has had another accident.
It is not by my hand I'll be changing that wee one's diaper again, Klaus.
And then little one reaches out his hand, starts gnawing on a checker.
Is that how I've taught you to play?
Sorry.
Now, who is your friend that you are playing with? I heard you talking to him earlier.
That's Barry.
What does Barry look like, little one?
He's brown and fuzzy and bleeding.
Does he speak of things to you?
He tells me I'm good.
Yes, you are quite a good little one. But does he talk of other things?
He tells me that I'm going to get real big one day. And then I'll be master.
Perhaps that is to be so. But for now, you are my little one. And this is how you play checkers. And Klaus moves one of the pieces and kind of like just shows him a valid move. Now, if your friend was to move a piece, what would your friend do?
Little one just clears the board, throwing all the pieces all over the floor.
How about we try another game? And he goes to the bookshelf in the room and he pulls out a box, and it looks to be one of those cheesy little Milton. What's the brothers?
Bradley.
Milton
Bradley.
Mousetrap. He pulls out Mousetrap.
Really hard
It's a Ouija board.
Ooh.
And he sets that up. And he says, "Now, I want you to communicate with your friend. You remember this game, do you not?"
Just like you showed me.
Should we
Yes.
vote?
Yeah. That's what I was. Will he communicate with spirits?
Oh, is that what you're trying to do?
Yes. Always say yes.
Sure, yeah. I'm down with that.
So little one puts his dirty fingers down. They still have like dried ketchup on them. And it starts moving. And you see it going from letter to letter. And it says, as it slowly spells out, "I will never be your son."
Klaus looks angrily at the little one, almost as if he's about to strike him, but instead exhales sharply through his nose and then knocks his glass off the table. And that's the end of the scene.
Is that the outcome that you wanted? I guess I'm confused.
I'm confused. Too.
Because we voted blue, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Right. So I wanted successful communication. So
Okay.
that works.
All right. So now, all right. I haven't done this before, so I have to create a scene, or what if I give the power away? Because I feel like if I'm going to create a scene now, I have to create it. I don't know how it would.
It could just be yourself alone. It could be with you and anybody else in the room. It could be with you and an NPC.
and just to establish, when did that scene happen? We went from Monday morning to what?
That was still the same night.
So Monday night.
Yep.
And is your name Little One? Is that what your
Yeah, I guess
character's
so.
gonna go
Yeah.
by? Yeah.
You
yeah.
you could actually have a name if you want. I just didn't know what to call you. So
Yeah, the little one works. So I think I'm gonna be a resolver, and I don't know.
Have someone else set the scene?
Yeah, this is a hard character to play. Like now that I'm actually doing it.
I have an idea. Do you still want someone else to set it up, or do you want to set it up?
No, you go ahead, set it up.
All right, so let's do let's say Tuesday at dusk. The scene opens with Samantha Birch in what used to be the courtyard of an old abandoned hospital for the mentally ill. And
Creepy.
she's got it's fall. She's all bundled up, and she's got her what's she doing? She's taking pictures. She's photographing things and leaves, autumn. And she always thought the spot was very pretty, and night was coming. And she hears a rustling in the bushes and begins to walk towards it. And she parts one, and she finds Little One there.
And he's eating a field mouse that he's caught.
So,
Whips his head at you with his big round eyes.
Samantha immediately takes 2 steps back, trips a bit, and falls, landing hard on the balls of her hands.
Don't tell Master. Don't tell him. You won't tell him, will you?
Taking in the fact that what she saw can talk, Samantha manages to stammer out, "Who's Master?"
Master Klaus. He would hurt me if he knew I snuck out. Would you like a bite?
Ugh, no, I don't want to bite. Thank you, though. Klaus, the Klaus of the Applewood Manor. The creepy house up on the hill.
That's where I came from.
I like to take pictures of that house. I've always liked it.
I could show you how to get there.
She looks down again.
Come, follow me. I have to get home soon.
And at that point, she just stops everything she's doing and squints her eyes at Little One and says, "What are you?"
I'm special. Can't you see that?
And at that moment, she reaches for her camera. She can see it's making Little One nervous that she's reaching, but she pulls it up from its strap, and the flash goes off so she can get a photo of the creature she found. Maybe that can be the vote moment.
Ooh, that's a good vote moment.
all right, but this is a vote for your outcome. Whether it's you get to decide because you let her set the scene.
Oh, right.
So you get
Yeah.
to decide whether it goes good or bad for you. Like whatever you want is going to happen.
If you want her to have a photo of you, if you don't want her to have a photo of you, or if you want her to be your friend, or you know.
Yeah, no, that's all fine. I want
Yeah.
you to come with Little One back to the manor.
Okay.
The flash dazes Little One, and I think maybe Samantha feels bad for like the little creature that he is.
Or maybe she sees him get dazed and there's something cute about it.
And yeah, you scoop him up and start walking towards the house.
Applewood Manor.
Applewood Manor.
I just started on my cider or my apple wine, crab apple wine today.
I decided you have a manor that like sits in front of an orchard. That was what I imagined.
With meticulously tended fruit.
So now we've all gone once. So
we do another round. We go around one more time,
Okay.
and then at that point we do what's called a tilt, which introduces like new factors and kind of is supposed to be a catalyst toward some sort of event.
all right.
So then we'd be back to
Christy.
what was her name?
Samantha Birch.
Samantha.
Naming my characters is always really hard for me.
You nailed it. It's a good name.
Yeah, but it's hard.
In a game like this, I always go for like the most average common fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just another fucking
It's hard. I'm
cog
like,
in the
what?
wheel.
It's so hard to be like, what's the perfect name? You know?
A game like this, though, you can just totally have fun with it. And
Yeah.
not have to make it like.
Yep.
You know.
Right.
Yeah, I was originally gonna name her Olive, because Olivia is from the Fringe show, you know. So I was
Yeah.
gonna name her Olive Birch or Olive something. So that was Tuesday at dusk. Was our meeting.
Yeah, we're just doing this all on the fly. It's like it's kind
It's
of
a little different,
really
huh?
nervous. Yeah. Like I haven't been this nervous gaming in I don't know. I just don't want to be the one that makes it suck.
Oh, the first scene was awful.
That was fine.
It's okay. We'll make it through it. And it's also super fun.
What do you mean the first scene was awful?
I struggled.
Cool
I had
'cause
a
you get to
good case of
build
the
on,
struggles.
you know.
John was like, "That was mostly my scene." Like, what do you mean?
No.
I just think for an opening scene in a movie, like
Yeah.
Right.
it's supposed to be kind of boring, but
Yeah,
yet
I
you know.
think it was good. It's not the scene itself was good. I was just bad.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a fucking love interest there, but then
Yeah.
something fucking creepy happens
Yeah.
right
Right,
after.
Yeah. Well, what I'm thinking well, I shouldn't say what I'm thinking so far.
Right.
So this scene is going to be Wednesday. The location will be the bookstore again. It's going to be all of us are going to be there. Can I do that?
Yeah.
So,
Diaper full.
yeah. So Samantha Birch spent
Asshole.
the better half of Wednesday morning trying to wrap her head around the things that little one had shown her up at Applewood Manor. Thankfully, she wasn't discovered walking around the secret laboratory. But she was shaken by it and really just trying to understand what was going on. She did enjoy little one, though. Seemed like a kind, small creature. And she is walking once again with 2 coffees in her hand to go see Timothy at the bookstore. The sign had been flipped to closed. It was about 6 o'clock. And she opens the door anyway, and the bell rings above her head. And she greets Timothy at the door. She greets Timothy at the counter, and they begin to speak. And as they're speaking, the bell rings again, and in walks Klaus, which makes Samantha Birch's hair stand on end. In his hand is his birdcage.
Well, excuse me. I thought that the store was. I did not realize that you had company.
Yeah, I am closed, actually. I'm not sure why there's so many people here.
I just thought maybe I noticed you're working late. I thought maybe, and Samantha Birch is stumbling a little bit, trying to speak to Timothy, that you'd want coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I asked Samantha to bring me a coffee. I have to stay late today. Is there something I can help you with, Mr. Klaus?
I like coffee.
Whoa.
Little one?
Who said that?
Klaus, rattles the cage.
And as the thing falls off, you notice little one is like twice the size he was.
Well, you've gotten big, little one.
He's like barely fitting in the cage.
Samantha, you know what this thing is?
When
Explain yourself.
When she realizes she addressed little one, she makes eye contact with Klaus and her eyes grow large and scared.
Who is this harlot? What does she mean?
This is Samantha.
There's got to be a perfect explanation. And as Timothy says that, he's walking over and he's deadbolting the door.
Timothy, you know Klaus and little one?
Please, master, be nice.
You shut up.
Oh.
How does this person know you? Speak!
You see his diaper fills up a little bit more.
I don't know her. I don't know her.
But she says that she does.
And his
How did you
little
meet?
one's big eyes get bigger. And he shakes his head no.
What is your story, woman?
I have no story. I met little one taking photos up at the old hospital.
Up at the hospital? I have told you to stay away from there.
I would never, master, please.
Is Barry bringing you there?
Yes, sir. I was looking for lollipops.
At that, Timothy brings up a basket of lollipops from behind the counter.
Little one just bites him, doesn't even take the wrapper off. He just like crunches them in like 2 bites.
I do not think he deserves a lollipop.
I think we all need to just take it easy for a minute so we could kind of wrap our heads around what's going on.
While we're all standing there in the scene, right? I can still write, right? Okay, so while we're all standing there, the lights in the old bookstore begin to flicker.
I didn't change the oil in these lamps. I'll be back. And Timothy opens up this creaky basement door, and he disappears down into the cellar.
That's where Barry lives.
Hey,
Shut up.
Tell me what you know of Little One.
I only know that you created him. I don't know what he is or how you did it.
Then you know too much. What is your relationship to young Timothy?
I've known Timothy since we were young.
Did you know his father?
And his mother before he died, and his mother before she died. We were neighbors, our families.
I suppose that the oil lamps will flare up again, nice and bright, and shortly thereafter, Timothy. The cellar door closes. Timothy arrives at the counter once more.
I'm struggling. I want to introduce an outside enemy, that enemy probably being the smoking man, but I don't know how to do it. So the lights flicker again, even though Timothy had just gone and checked the oil in the lamps. And
Downstairs.
and when we look outside, we see...
When do we vote?
Oh, right now. What do we
Yeah,
see?
anytime.
Something bad.
Yeah. I guess that's it, right?
Well, yeah. Well, do you want it to pass or fail? You want to see something bad or not something bad?
Oh, well,
Yeah? How do you want it to go?
I want the scene to end poorly for...
Little.
Well, it's your
You
scene,
look like
right?
a halfling.
Yeah, you want it to end poorly for me?
So is that what you're voting as well? That it ends poorly for Samantha or ends well for Samantha?
Oh, I was thinking whatever you see out there is bad. So yeah, fuck it, poorly for Samantha.
Yeah, I'll go poorly then.
So Samantha looks outside as the lights are flickering, and she sees...
The cherry of a cigarette.
Yes, but wait a minute. She looks outside and she sees the figure of the shadow of a man smoking a cigarette, and then the lights flicker again, and all that's left is a puff of smoke or a
smoldering cigarette butt on the ground.
yeah.
What kind of cigarette is it? Marlboro.
No, what's the brand?
Marlowe's.
Marlowe's from X-Files. Did we all see it? Or just Samantha looked outside and saw it?
No, we didn't all see it. Only Samantha saw it.
Did you see something out there, Samantha?
No, nothing. And Samantha just runs out the door, scared for her life.
Towards the danger.
Well, no, there's the danger that's in the store that is
Right.
the scientist and his creation, and then there's the creepy thing outside, and she runs.
is this?
She runs away into the night.
End scene.
End scene, or into the evening.
As such women do.
Picture running through puddles and they're splashing.
Maybe she trips for a minute, falls, leans against a brick wall, cries for a little bit, and then gets up. All right, the next.
Well, I was trying to think of what the mystery could be, what the common enemy or the thing that's outside of our group, that could be. Something that would make...
All right.
Well, that could happen in the tilt, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Just trying to make a story.
Sometimes you just gotta accept what it is and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this next scene is going to take place. It's going to consist of Timothy and Samantha, and they are on their way to the local cinema.
What's playing? What are you guys going to see?
Creature of the Night.
The second one or the third one?
Part 2.
I never
Nice.
thought we'd get
Classic.
through all those
Replaying.
books, Timothy.
Yeah, thank you so much for helping me with all that. It's been pretty stressful ever since, well, I don't miss him,
I don't think that you have to.
Yeah. Anyway, so you want to talk about, what happened the other day, with Mr. Klaus?
I've accepted what's happened with Mr. Klaus and Little One, as crazy and odd as it may seem. But who's your friend, the smoker? I've seen him outside of your store twice now.
Maybe at that, Timothy might appear a bit more on edge, and he looks around and maybe pulls Samantha into a vestibule. Is it vestibule?
Yeah, have a look. Yeah, doorway, entryway of a Main Street store.
Foyer.
Yeah,
Have you seen him?
twice now.
I haven't seen him since the night my father died.
Well, who is he? I know everybody in town. I don't know him.
I don't really know all too much about him, but I'm telling you, he creeps me out. I know my father knew him. I've seen him around.
Do you think he knows about Klaus and Little One? Is Klaus dangerous? There's so many questions.
He's just a kooky old man. He was one of my father's best customers. I don't know all too much about him and what he gets on with up there on the hill.
I've seen his home, and he honestly doesn't seem that harmful. Crazy, but not harmful.
You've been in there?
Yeah, Little One took me. I don't know why I went with that ugly little creature. There's something about him. I like him.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
I don't know, but nothing happens in this sleepy little town, and I'm glad to be part of whatever is. And she steps back onto the sidewalk and reaches out for Timothy to kind of cheer up and to not be afraid, and that it's an adventure type of thing.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
Do you want something? Do you want it to go good or bad for Timothy?
Oh, that's where we're at right now?
It seemed like it was starting to.
Mm-hmm.
Move on.
Yeah, probably end with us walking into the theater or not.
I suppose what Timothy wants to is, I don't know if do I have to address what I'm after, essentially?
No, I mean, I think...
Would that help with your decisions?
Maybe.
I think oftentimes you can perceive what you want to happen, but if you can't...
I think what Timothy's ultimately trying to do in this scene is he's trying to carry on a cordial relationship with Samantha without... but he's nervous that all this weird shit is kind of is going to get in the way of that.
Yeah, I think just letting the scene, like trying to use the scene to express what you want is better than explaining it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I kind of like the explanation.
Do you?
Like, yeah, I did. I liked it. And now I'm going to vote, yeah, good.
I'm going to vote
Go on
bad,
then.
so then it's up to Christy.
Where's my hourglass?
It wasn't that
Okay,
long.
so
Your spritzes might be kicking in.
There's like an hour and a half.
if so I'll go good. That if it's the goal for him and Samantha
All right, he gets a good one.
to get together.
The smoking man is in the theater. Smoking.
Yeah, exactly. He totally is. Absolutely.
It's gotta
That's up.
be.
That's up to him. It's going good for him. He could have one night if he wants.
Yeah, no.
Second base.
Yeah. No, yeah, so I guess the scene will end. Timothy will kind of shrug off his nervousness at Samantha's beck and call and proceed into the cinema. As they're entering, they're a little late for the movie, and you hear maybe some muffled screams coming from within as the fellow moviegoers are enjoying a scary scene.
Okay, so it's Sunday, around brunch time. The sun's coming in through the window, and Klaus opens the door and welcomes Timothy into his home. Ah, young Timothy, I'm so glad that you are able to come visit me. I understand it is your only day off from the bookstore.
It is, and you know as well as I should be there working.
You work too hard, young man. Come, have a little coffee with a little brandy.
Well, all right then. Let's get to work, my friend.
I wanted to discuss with you something. How long has it been since you've lost your father? Refresh my memory.
8 months, 3 weeks.
Yes, that sounds about right. It's a horrible, tragic incident.
What's tragic is that I had to acquire his life with it.
You know, we all have choices, young Timothy. You are not bound by chains there to the bookstore.
Why does it feel so?
Maybe there's something else. I, too, have been suffering from great loss. I know you do not admit love for your father, but he loved you.
He sure didn't act like it.
He talked about you very much. I was to be a father myself. I had a young little one. Not too much bigger than little one that we have come to know.
Sure.
He was also taken from my clutches by a horrible accident.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Klaus.
I am beginning to suspect that it is not mere coincidence. I think that tragedy is following your family, your father, myself, and now you, since you have inherited his bookstore.
And who do you suppose is behind this?
I was hoping that you could shed some light on this. I have been warned of a presence. Little one's imaginary friend, sometimes he is able to speak through little one, through games. He is warned that something is about us.
Yeah, you know I've never been much into fairy tales.
Have you not? Are you not into these fairy tales? You seem to have much knowledge. You have every book that I need, just at the right time I need it.
Those have never been fairy tales for me. You know that. I grew up around this stuff.
Dare I say the bookstore is like an extension of yourself.
But the idea that something or someone orchestrated tragedy for both my family and yours.
Perhaps one of our families has wronged this entity or this person.
Can we vote soon?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can vote anytime you want.
I'm voting for a positive outcome.
I'm going negative.
What about you?
I guess positive.
All I ask of you, young Timothy, is to rack your brain. Think. Think about your father's acquaintances. And think about who might have wanted to do him wrong. Or if you have seen anything unusual.
Timothy will choke back the rest of his drink as he'll stand. I'll think on it, Mr. Klaus. But for now, I need to get back to work.
That is all I ask, man.
And as he's taking his leave, Timothy stops in the door. He turns around to face Mr. Klaus. Mr. Klaus, have you ever known mysterious fellow? Cigarette smoking man?
I know many people that smoke cigarettes, but one of a mysterious stature, I cannot say. But there was something your father had once mentioned to me that I thought was quite odd. He always looked nervous around people with... I always thought it was the books in the bookstore, but he had a disdain, a distaste for those who smoked. Otherwise, I cannot help you.
Yeah, it's probably nothing.
Well, I understand that you do not have much of your own personal time, but I appreciate your visit.
Good evening, Mr. Klaus.
That's the end of the scene.
Sure is. Now I'm up. Oh no. Dude, I just don't know how to wrap this all together.
The entire burden does not have to fall on you.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Dude, I'm just gonna start winging it.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that what we've been doing?
I mean, like, I don't know if this is gonna help the story or what it's gonna do, but I guess in this scene,
They pick a location and cast for it, and then let it play out. I guess.
I don't see little one being anywhere else, but or maybe we can do a flashback. You want to do a flash?
Do a flashback. You could be at you've got the hospital, you've got the manor.
Let's flashback.
You've even got the bookstore.
Let's flashback to little one and his imaginary friend. So after we wrote out "I will never be your son," Klaus gets angry and leaves the room, right? And now it's just little one alone with his imaginary friend.
Well, Master's gone now, Barry.
So then it is just us.
Yes. It's just us. And, there's fear in him.
You have smelled it too.
Yes. Are you bloody today?
I am always bloody.
Who is the man that has been following the smoking man?
I am not familiar with the smoking man. I have sensed him. He is not a normal man.
I saw Master. He's worried about this smoking man. He's been following him.
What about you, little one? Are you happy with your master?
Of course I am. He gave me life.
He puts you in a cage.
What? It's a cage filled with toys and happy things. As long as we don't let him get angry.
What do you think he wants with me?
He wants you to tell us the truth. The truth about the man following us.
That is something that I cannot offer. Does anybody want to roll?
Just going off the rails, isn't it?
Let's go fail. For me.
Yeah, I'll go fail. I don't know what fail means.
Fail,
really.
fail means he's not going to get what he's looking for, which is information on the smoking man.
If you...
Okay.
Oh, pass.
Yeah, I'll go past too.
I want
right.
information on the smoking man. I want that. Yeah.
All right, good. If you don't tell us anything, you know Master's going to hurt me. And if he hurts me again, I just can't take it, Barry. I won't talk to you anymore.
You know, little one, I might know something about this man. In fact, he has spoken to me.
I'll play checkers more, I swear, Barry. Whatever you want.
He starts picking up the board and putting the pieces back.
I'll even let you king me. I know how to play.
He wants your master to suffer.
Little one's face goes blank.
I sometimes want him to suffer too.
End scene.
All right.
Did we save it? Did we do something all right? No?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's fine. Now's the tilt.
All right, so the tilt. Roll the dice in front of you.
Okay.
Ooh, I rolled high.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know if that's good.
All right.
That could be bad.
Now, does anybody have two different colors, or does everybody have the same color?
I've got two good.
Okay, so
too good.
you're all the same color. Everybody's got the same color.
Did everybody pass both except for me?
Yeah, you got two.
Well, it
fails.
doesn't matter. What's more important is that you have the
What?
same color die. So you add up all the dice of the same color, and if you have two different colors, then you have to
Okay.
pick the highest one. So the highest number, the two people with the highest number of one color and highest number of the other, ends up rolling picking on the tilt table. So I've got 10 for blue,
I've got 10 for blue.
6.
6 for blue.
11 for red.
So you're going to be the red roller.
Okay.
So, yeah, okay. So you have well, that doesn't matter.
All right.
Have a roll off.
So Christy's going to be the red roller.
Yep, I got 5.
The red roller. Oh, shit. I got 6.
All right, so James is going to be the blue roller. What that means is the rest of these dice that we haven't used yet, those are numbers that you guys could use to pick on the tilt table. You will each choose one category, and then you will choose a detail from the other person's category.
Okay.
And you could use these numbers.
Okay.
All right. I choose tragedy, so that's a 2. And
then she would choose a category
In
and
tragedy?
a detail from tragedy.
Okay.
Okay.
So, my detail from tragedy. So, my tragedy will be death right on time.
That's what the whole thing is, death right on time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just like that. Okay, and my category will be innocence.
Okay.
All right, so you
So
choose the
what number?
detail.
How about 5? Love rears its ugly head.
Sounds intriguing.
All right, so what that means is those two things, death right on time and love rears its ugly head, will have to make an appearance at some point during Act 2, where we all, once again, have 2 scenes. Next time on the Natty 19 podcast.